Hey YouTube, so on the latest episode of Get Paid, we talked about the entire AFC West from a gambling and fantasy point of view. In this installment, we are talking about the Chargers. What is the over-under win total going to be? Who to target in fantasy land? So we will join Sean and Brad now. Let's move it on to the Chargers. Let's see, over-under Bovada, 9.5 wins for the season for the Chargers.
I'm gonna have to go over, man. We go with the over. I like Phillip, dude.
You got to, man. I know it's a tough schedule. I'm over 3 for 3 at this point in this division, but Phillip Rivers, with or without Gordon, I don't care. They're going to be able to move the ball. I thought Ekeler, when Gordon was out, did really well. Jackson, who is the third string running back, plays pretty well as well. I think he actually started 1 or 2 games at the end of the year and scored quite well in fantasy teams. So, again, I just did this earlier in the podcast, but if you're going to draft Gordon, just make sure you get Ekeler. And he's somebody I'll be looking at because I really do think he could be starting more than half the season here, if not the whole season. And if you're in a keeper league, he could be somebody that a lot of these leagues, Brad, you draft guys in the 10th round, and you have to keep them at the round you drafted last year. So if you have a starting running back in L.A. For the Chargers that you drafted in like the 10th round this year in 2020, that's great value, man. So I think that's all good. Go ahead and take him. Phillip Rivers, I had somebody that told me that they got Phillip Rivers in the 14th round. This is why I'm a big proponent now of waiting on quarterback. If you can get somebody that can put up Phillip Rivers like stat lines in the 14th round this year, then wait on your quarterback. Wait, draft him. I like Keenan Allen. Mike Williams looks like he'll be a factor. He has a body that's really imposing. I think he'll be good now that Tyrell Williams is in Oakland. But to me, I feel like Travis Benjamin is not a wide receiver 3, and they're kind of playing him there. I really feel like Hunter Henry is going to ascend. I just moved him up in my rankings because of that. So yeah, man, there's a lot to like. Again, it's hard for me to envision, as we're in January, Brad, looking at the standings and seeing a 10-6 Kansas City team. I think they're 11-5 or better. It's hard for me to envision the Chargers with this defense and the ability on offense to be under 10 wins. I just think they got to be over. I think they got to at least be 10-6, so I'm going to take them there. All right, and that wrapped up that installment. Go ahead and subscribe on iTunes to the Get Paid Fantasy Gambling and Daily Fantasy podcast for the full episode. And please, YouTube, subscribe to our channel right now. We are going to be launching a lot of new shows in the 2019 season, a lot of video content that you can't get anywhere else. We are in the midst of building our studio, and you will get to see my ugly mug and Brad's ugly mug. So be sure to subscribe here and check back for updates as we get into the season. Go out, get paid.